in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming along to tonight's webinar. So I'm Jenny Watson. So tonight is, I guess, a bit of an introduction to myself and Justin, who have recently been appointed as Young Investors President. So we're excited to be involved. And so it is a little bit about us tonight. We're going to talk you through our journey so far and hopefully give you a bit of insight to who we are. And I promise that the next webinar next month will be a little bit more exciting than just talking about us, but hopefully you can get something out of tonight to see our journey. So I guess I will be talking a little bit about how property investing has fit into our plan for retirement. But as always, it's really important that if you are considering investing, that you do make informed decisions and seek appropriate advice where required. So we'll get started. And yeah, like I said, a little bit of intro to Justin and myself. Okay, so I'm Jenny Watson. My husband is Justin, and he's looking after our little tornado tonight. So we have an 18-month-old, so he's on parenting duties while I'm chatting to you guys. We are newly appointed YIC presidents. We've been property mentors now for about a year and a half. We love investing in property, we love talking about property, and we love being involved with the club. So it was only fitting that after so long we did step up to be property mentors to help people out and to guide them on their journey. So we currently have 5 properties, so that information's a tad out of date. So 5 properties and loving parents of one little bubba, Olivia. So we are 33 years old. Well, Justin is. I'm 32. I like to point that out. We both work full time. We have an 18-month-old baby, Olivia. Joined the club in 2009. Became property millionaires in 2012. Property mentors in 2016 and YIC ambassadors in 2016 and presidents just last month. So you can see that we've been involved with the club for 9 years now, and we haven't looked back since. And that's our little Olivia there. So why do we invest in property? We invest in property because we want financial freedom in retirement. So we made the realisation when we were young that we need to take action now, because when we are older, the government's certainly not going to support us to the lifestyle that we want to live. So we decided to take action, and my parents introduced us to the property club. So it runs in the family. One thing I was concerned about with starting to invest in property was not being able to enjoy my lifestyle. So I didn't want to work super hard to the point where I didn't actually get to enjoy, the money that we were earning. But we did make the realisation that although we want to enjoy our lifestyle, we can still prepare for our retirement. So we have that control. So our property portfolio as you can see, has 5 properties. So we purchased our first property in 2007, just 3 months before we got married, and we were 21 at the time. We paid $228,000 in Romsey, and it's now worth $500,000. Back in 2010, we purchased a property in 8 Mile Plains in Queensland. This was our very first club purchase. So 345,000 we paid, and it's now worth 420. One of our best investments so far with the property club was our 2013 purchase with St Mary's, where we paid 319,000, and it's now worth 440,000. So it's definitely kept its keep. And in 2015, Kedron, 460, still worth 460, so hasn't moved at this point. And last year we settled in Midland for 360. One thing that Justin and I tend to do when we purchase property is we always purchase around a major life event. So we get married, we buy a house. We go on our first big overseas extravaganza, we buy a house. We have a baby, we buy a house. It's just what we do. We like to live life on the edge. So our portfolio so far has cost us 1.7 mil and is now worth almost 2.2 mil. So the way we look at it is we've already made 468,000 in 9 years, and we've saved about 100,000 in tax. So we're really happy, and one of the common themes when we talk to people about the fact that we did start investing so young, one of the common themes is that people wish that they started early. They wish they had have started when we did. So it's one of the things that Justin and I have been ever so grateful for is the fact that we did start early and we were introduced to this very early as well. So why did we take action when we did? I keep saying it, and I'll always say it, financial freedom. So I often tell Justin that, when I'm older, I want a lifestyle to live. And the best time to start is as soon as possible. So while you still have working life ahead of you, so obviously, everybody here tonight is a part of the Young Investors Club. So I like to say that the world is your oyster. You've got plenty of time ahead of you, and which is really important because property takes time to make money. So if we waited and we didn't start until now, it would have cost us 568k. So 468 in property growth, but also 100k to the tax man that we've kept in our pocket because of the investing that we've done. And what's really exciting is we still have 20 to 30 years of work ahead of us, so more money and more holidays. We love to go on holidays, and something that we want to continue to do, and we want to do that when we've retired as well. So why the property club? So I mentioned that my parents introduced us to the property club, but essentially I was terrified. So Justin was really keen on purchasing property, but I was absolutely terrified. I didn't want to buy a house. I didn't want a mortgage. But the club gave me the confidence that we were making a smart decision. The researchers did all the work. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. So, sitting down, taking the time to research properties is not something that I would have had on my list. So the fact that somebody else will do it for me certainly won me over. And now I'm the one that drives it. So when's the next one? When's the next one? And Justin's often telling me to slow down. So I guess for us, the property club really did give us the confidence to know that we were making smart decisions. And we had the support from our property mentor if we had questions along the way, which was really important, especially given we had started so young. I had lots of questions. So what's life like with investment debt? So Justin, I did say to Justin one day a few years ago, as long as we don't reach 2 million in debt, as long as we don't reach 2 mil. And at that point he did say to me, we already have, we're past that point. So, we've made the realization that investment debt is what you would call good debt because it's going towards something that's making us money. So we still go overseas every year. I took time off to have a baby. We've renovated our own house. We go out to dinner each week. How? So we plan and budget. We know what we want, we plan our goals, and we're smart with our money. So we actually have planning meetings every 6 months where we'll sit down and we'll talk about what it is that we want to do. So at the moment, we're planning a big overseas white Christmas next year in Europe. So we have put together a YIC budgeting webinar. I think it was later last year, and it gives you some tips and tricks on setting goals and budgeting, and that's available on YouTube. So if I can impart any words of wisdom to you, it's act now. The longer you wait, the longer it costs you. Don't waste time. It's so important. You're in a good position with time to make the most of your portfolio. Don't waste it. In 20 years' time, you don't want to look back and go, oh, I should have done this sooner. I'd be in a much better position to retire. Contact your property mentor and work out your next steps because your investment clock is ticking. So another thing that you can do is you can come along to events. We're all like-minded people that love to talk about property and share our information. So coming along to events, you can hear people's stories. You can learn the what to do's and the what not to do's. So you might as well learn off everybody else's good and bad experiences. So I want you to take 30 seconds. I have an activity for you. I think it's really important that you do understand you have control of your future. So retirement might seem like it's forever down the track, but it's something you need to think about now. So I want you to take 30 seconds to have a think about where you want to go. Picture your retirement. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Because you really need to think outside the box and have a think about these things in order to be able to take action now. So let's take 30 seconds to have a think about it. All right, so you should probably get off the sun deck chairs now. That's certainly what my retirement looked like. I hope yours was as extravagant as mine. Something that I think that is really important to do is often think about that, because as you go through your life and things change, so too do your expectations for the future. So something to always think about. We strongly encourage people to plan. I know it seems ridiculous, but Justin and I will actually have planning meetings. We go out to dinner, we talk about all of these things, make sure we're on the same page, and come up with a plan to work towards those goals. So that's Justin and I in a nutshell. So as you can see from our journey, we have really invested with the club. We highly, we're so very grateful for all the words of wisdom that they've imparted, and we're very proud to be able to assist people moving forward. But I think that's enough about us. And Justin and I we would love to know a little bit more about all of you. So I'm going to put a poll up if that's okay, because I'd like to get an understanding of where people are at, which will only help us to put together fantastic webinars for you in the future. So this is the first time I've run a poll, so please wish me luck and bear with me, but here we go. Okay, so how important is it for you to start investing for your retirement now? So if you can have a look. Excuse me. All right. Finish up in 5 seconds. All right. So I'll just share that with you. So hopefully you can see that now. If you can, then it looks like I've got this down pat. So 75% of you think that it's extremely important to start now. 25% of you think it's important. So it's good to see that it's on everybody's radar. So another question for you. All right. What's holding you back from purchasing a property now? So, finance issues, not happy with property choices, don't understand the importance of investing, or struggling to make a decision. Oh, I can see a popular theme already. We'll give it 5 more seconds. All right, so big topic, finance issues. So as mentors and I guess presidents of YIC, it's going to be really interesting for Justin and I to sort of get to the bottom of what people are experiencing with their finance issues, because it only helps us to better educate people on different ways that they can handle these things. And I have one more, which I think is really important. How regularly are you in contact with your mentor? So once a week, once a month, once every few months, once a year, or never? I was going to be really clever with never and say, who's my mentor? But hopefully you all know who your mentor is. All right, 5 more seconds. Okay, so half of you speak to your mentor once every few months, a quarter of you once a week, and a quarter of you once a month. So I guess I would really encourage you to touch base with your mentor regularly. If once every few months works for you, that's great. Those of you that are in contact once a week, hopefully you're getting a lot from that experience. And I guess this just sort of helps us to understand where you guys as fellow young investors are in your property journey. So moving forward, we will have webinars every month for our young investors, and we're really keen to understand what you guys are going through, what you want to learn, all those sorts of things. So we will, I guess, seek as much information from you as we can, to make sure that these sessions are of the most benefit for you. So I guess thanks for coming along tonight and hearing us out. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with our journey. It just gives you a little bit of insight to us, because you'll hear from us a lot moving forward. And yeah, a good opportunity for us all to get to know each other a little better. So next month we'll have a webinar, and I promise it'll be so much more exciting than about Justin and I. So thanks so much for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your evenings and talk next month.